everybody, it's me, Alexa, and welcome to Alexa Talks, the December monthly update. So we had a whole bunch to talk about in this video. I think that you'll be very excited about our main topic, which is my top films of this year. So I'm going to be doing two lists, top 10 films that I watched that came out in 2020, and that has no restriction on countries anywhere in the whole world. And then I'm also going to be doing the top 20 films that I watched that are from other places outside of the US, so like international films that I've watched this year. So whole bunch of movies to talk about, and I'm very excited about it. So let's jump on into these other categories quickly first so that we can get on to that. Really quick before I jump in, of course, I want to give a shout out to our 5 Meters Deep members on Patreon, Tarun and Anonymous, and everyone else on Patreon. Absolutely amazing. Huge thank you guys for the support that we have. It's incredible. If you didn't know, we do have a Patreon linked in the description of all of our videos. I have a video explaining all the perks and all that I'll link as well. So if you have any interest in supporting the channel in that way, feel free to go check it out. But as always, it is always more than enough support to just keep coming back and watching these videos. Thank you guys for help making it possible for me to be able to make these videos and continue on doing that, and then hopefully one day make this my actual full-time job. It's really amazing. Thank you all so much. Also, I would like to note that I am indeed wearing a Christmas sweater. And Dino, there's a disco ball, and he's also wearing a Christmas sweater. It's spectacular. I love it. So, firstly, November review. So, I realized that my intro was kind of more so a wrap-up always of the previous month, so I decided to give the section a name. It's now whatever month review, so November review. Despite the fact that November was the least amount of videos that I've uploaded in a month, due to me being sick for like most of November, and also a lot of videos getting blocked in November. A lot of videos got blocked, more than normal. I wasn't a big fan of that. But despite all that, we still have hit 45,500 subscribers. Absolutely incredible. Y'all just are continually so amazing and supportive, and it's just wonderful. I really love making videos on this channel, and I cannot wait to continue to grow and expand. So of course, the Alexa & Co channel that I started has now 191 subs. Awesome, almost to that 200 milestone. I'm very excited about that. I'm having a lot of fun making gaming videos over there, and I have a whole bunch of new ones coming out. So make sure, if you have any interest in gaming videos, make sure to go over and hit subscribe over there, as well as on Sri's channel, Sri Kandula. He is currently at 55 subscribers, so hooray, we surpassed our 50 subscriber goal on his channel. Absolutely incredible. Now let's get 100. So make sure if you enjoy gaming videos to head on over to his channel and hit that subscribe button. He has a whole bunch more coming out. We just hit 29 followers over on our Twitch, which we've been streaming more and more on, and we're having a lot of fun with, and I'm definitely going to be doing that more and more these upcoming weeks. So make sure to head over there. You can talk to me in the chat as I play some video games. On big news for the website, we hit our 100th article this past month. Even though it was one of our lowest months for views on the website in quite a while, we have been off to an amazing start for December, so I'm not worried about it at all, and I'm very excited to see how we do this month. Now, on to me stuff. So, firstly, last Alexa Talks, I mentioned I was going to try to do NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. I did fail. I did. I think I bit off a bit more than I could chew with the story that I chose, but I did write 20,000 words, which is more than I've ever written before in a novel. So, and it kind of also did remind me how much I like writing. So I'm definitely gonna be using that, and I'm working on a different, shorter story, more contained story than what I attempted to do during the NaNoWriMo, and I'm very excited to continue working on that and other projects in the world of writing, because I really do love writing, and so does Sri, and so we're kind of working together to create new stories and putting them on paper. So hopefully we'll have some novellas and like shorter stories out for you guys in the next couple months. It'll definitely take a bit, because you know we gotta go through all the different draft cycles and stuff like that, because we want them to be really good before they go public. So, and since we are a little out of practice with writing, it's probably gonna take a couple more drafts than absolutely necessary. So yeah, we're definitely really excited about that though, and expect to be hearing more about that in the next couple Alexa Talks. And then to talk about something else I discussed in my main topic of the last one, which was the elections. Trump is out. It's so official. I'm so happy every single time one of his BS fraud claims gets thrown aside, because there's literally no evidence. It's really incredible, and even some of the people who like really support him have been saying that there's no fraud. So really says a lot. So yeah, he's almost out. Right now he's just golfing and doing stuff. I mean, he's being an idiot, and I'm still worried that he's gonna do something really detrimental to the country before he leaves, or even afterwards, like give all of our secrets to other countries or something. But you know, it's okay. We just don't think about that. Right now I know he's trying to get his kids pardons for the future. So whatever, anything in the future that they could possibly be like persecuted for, he wants them to be pardoned for already. So that really makes me worried about what kind of stuff he thinks his children and their spouses have been up to. But you know, that's fine. That's totally normal behavior. But he's out. He's gonna be gone. We're gonna have Biden. It's gonna be closer to normal. He's already out of the media so much. It's so nice whenever I can scroll through news and not every single article is about Trump. It's so nice. I'm like kind of like happy to be reading celebrity news again, which I used to be really annoyed about. So, you know, gotta take those small victories. Alright, so that's enough about general November. Let's talk about what movies I watched. So, this past November, I only watched 17 films. That's crazy. That's very few films for me. I'm off to a rocky start with December. I haven't watched any films yet this December. Wow, that's really crazy. We're already on multiple days in. So, some of my favorite films that I watched this month. Near the beginning of November, I watched Nuovo Stanante Neno Dantana. I absolutely loved this movie. I really loved it. I wanted to film a review for it, but actually the next day is when I woke up with my throat in a lot of pain for the first time. So I was like, oh, okay, it'll be fine. I'll wait a day and I'll get better. And then I just got worse for a bit. And then I was sick for too long. And then it was way too long after I'd watched it. So my plan is to hopefully rewatch it in maybe a month or two, and then I'll do a review then, because I really, really loved this movie. You'll see, it ranks quite high on my top 20 films that I watched in 2020. I also, of course, watched Sorare Padru, and great film. I did do a review on that, linked to that in the description, so make sure to check that out if you want my full thoughts. A great film. And then the other most notable thing I did this past November was I binged all of the Hobbit and Lord of the Ring movies extended editions. I don't know how much y'all know about that, but those are really long movies. The longest one being Return of the King, which is 4 hours and 10 minutes. No intermissions. I did make my own intermissions though, to grab snacks and restroom and all that stuff, but they were absolutely incredible. I'd never seen the Hobbit films before, but I actually did just read The Hobbit back in July, and I really loved the book, and so I was excited to finally watch the 3 movies. And I see why people had an issue with them, because they did take a lot of liberties, because the book is only Bilbo Baggins' perspective, and so the movie though then took you, and so there's other side things that were like mentioned or like just happened on the side that you knew about during The Hobbit, and the movie actually went and showed you that stuff. So it definitely added a lot. I only had one thing that I didn't like that they added, and it was like this romance plotline that they put in, which just had no place. I feel like it didn't add anything to the story, in my opinion. I didn't mind the characters, but just the way that they put it in, I felt was very forced and unnecessary. But besides that, I really liked the 3 films. I thought they were really well done. The acting was great. The stories were fun. And I kind of liked getting to see the other things that we didn't get to read about in the book. I thought that was kind of interesting. And Peter Jackson, of course, is just knows so much about the world that I think he did a really good job with it. And of course, the Lord of the Rings trilogy are spectacular. If you have not seen them and you like fantasy, at least watch those 3, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. They are incredible movies. If maybe the 3+ hour length of them seems a bit daunting, I don't know. It's not that long though, really. But if that seems too long for you, there's also like theatrical cuts of them that are shorter. You don't have to watch the extended edition, but I definitely recommend watching the movies. Alright, so now we have upcoming movies in December. So I had a hard time finding movies coming out this December. I couldn't find any Indian films that I'd really heard about that are coming out. So let me know if I missed one. I did research for a while. I was looking up all the different languages, like what's coming out this month, and I couldn't really find anything of note. There are, of course, films coming out, but none of them I had really heard of yet. So let me know if there is anything else coming out in December that you guys think I should take a look at, because I couldn't find anything, so let me know. But in Hollywood movies, there's a couple coming out that I'm pretty excited for. There's Death on the Nile, which is a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express, and I really enjoyed that film. I thought it was well paced. I love mystery films like that. It's really just a good time, so I'm excited to see what they do with the sequel. And then, of course, Wonder Woman 1984 is finally coming out. I did a reaction to that trailer back during the DC Fandom, and I've been excited for the movie for quite a while. It's going to be released in theaters and simultaneously on HBO Max, which Warner Brothers actually announced is what they're planning on doing for all of their 2021 film releases, but it'll only be available on HBO Max for like a month or something like that. Here, I'll leave a link in the description to an article talking more about what's going on with that Sri wrote on the website. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to take a look at it. Maybe I'll have to get HBO Max because I don't actually have it. So maybe I'll have to get it if they're going to be releasing all those movies on there, because like they have some big names coming out. You have like Dune is coming out, Godzilla vs. Kong, I mean Matrix 4, like a whole bunch. So I'm pretty, definitely going to be possibly doing that. And then finally, Pixar's newest film. I love Pixar movies. Soul will be coming out, and it looks absolutely adorable. I love it, and every time I see a new trailer for it, I get really excited for the movie. So I'm excited to watch that. I'm hoping it'll just be like on Disney Plus. It won't be like extra, a whole bunch of money like Mulan, but I would definitely want to watch that. So very excited. That's supposed to come out on Christmas. Same with Wonder Woman 84, but Death on the Nile will be coming out December 17th. And now, of course, we have our main topic, which is my top favorite films of 2020. So I have, as I said at the beginning, two categories here. We have the top 10 films that came out in 2020 that I watched. There's still plenty of films that came out this year that I did not watch. And also there's, of course, the ones coming out in December. Those don't count. Anything I watch in December is going to be in next year's list. So I've decided. So I can get this done on a good time and schedule. And then also I'm going to be saying my top 20 international films that I watched for the first time this year. So they came out any year in the past, but I have not seen them until 2020. So for me, they're new in 2020. So I have quite a few movies to list, and because of that, I'm going to be not talking too much about all of them. I'll probably talk a bit more about like my tops in each category. But a lot of them I also have reviews for, so I'm going to try not to talk too much about the films. I'm going to name the director and try and give like maybe a 1 or 2 sentence thing about them. But that's it, to try and keep this from not being extensively long for both your and my sanity. So one quick preface before we start. This list is partially based on if it's technically good, because of course that's a factor into how much I enjoy it. If it has a bunch of technically bad things, it's not going to be on the list. But it's also extremely biased based on my opinions and thoughts and stuff. This is not as unbiased as my reviews are. This is just purely my opinion, my favorite movies, with a slight disregard to what is technically better than other movies, that sort of stuff. It's just my thoughts. So let's start off with my favorite films that came out in 2020. These are films from all over, and I'm going to be starting at the bottom of the list and working my way up. So at number 10, we have Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. I thought this was a really fun, great film. This was directed by Cathy Yan, and I think that she did a really great job of bringing the character of Harley Quinn and these other really fun woman villain hero-esque characters, they're like anti-villains almost, to life. And I really enjoyed the movie. It wasn't perfect or anything, but the score was a lot of fun, and I definitely enjoyed this movie. In number 9, we have the Malayalam film See You Soon, directed by Mahesh Narayanan. I did a full review on that. Y'all know my thoughts. I really enjoyed it. It was really creative and a great use of quarantine and the resources that they have available there. I thought it was really fun and creative. In 8th place, we have Dil Bechara, directed by Mukesh Chhabra. I am a big fan of The Fault in Our Stars. I did a full review on this one too, and I thought that this was a really fun adaptation that embraced the quality and like feel of the movie really well. In number 7th, we have Bhishma. As you all know, I really enjoyed this movie. It made me laugh so much, laughed more than I've laughed in like most other movies that I've seen the first time I watched it, and that it has to be on this top 10 list for sure. And that movie is directed by Venki Kuramula. In 6th place, we have Hit the First Case, directed by Sailesh Kolanu. So I really enjoyed this movie. I thought that Vishwak and everyone else did a really great job at their roles, and I think that it was just a really well done mystery with some new twists and some cool new ideas. I definitely hope that this is only the first case and they do make some more movies with Vishwak's character and in this world that they've made for this. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I look forward to hopefully seeing more coming out. So in 5th place, we have, and this is the real one that shows that it's not about technically best film, because you'll see some lower on the list are technically a better film than this one, but I really like this movie. Deep Blue Sea 3, directed by Chan Hogue. It is a fun like shark monster flick. I love monster flicks. I think they are so much like fun. I just think they're so enjoyable, and I love Deep Blue Sea. The first one is such a great film, and the Deep Blue Sea 2 was really disappointing and not that great, but then they bring it back home with Deep Blue Sea 3 is wonderful. And you have to watch 2 though, because there is a bit of a story connector between 2 and 3. I mean, you don't have to watch 2. 2 kind of sucks, okay? But it does make 3 slightly better if you've seen 2, but I think 3 is still a great film. In 4th place, we have The King of Staten Island, directed by Judd Apatow and starring Pete Davidson. I thought that this film, it was such a good little slice of life. Like, everything about it felt really natural. There was never a moment during the film that I felt like I was like watching a movie. It felt more like I was just like watching friends hang out or watching this person do this thing. It didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it felt very natural, and that's, I mean, a big thing to Judd Apatow. He's really great at that sort of stuff with film and having that natural feel to it. And it came across really well in this movie. 3rd place, of course, we have Sorarai Padru, directed by Sudha K. Prasad. I did a full review on that. So again, I won't talk too much, but great film. It's really wonderful. In 2nd place, we have The Trial of the Chicago 7 by Aaron Sorkin. It's a really great film about an event that happened in American history that I knew nothing about, which was super fun to learn about. So that in itself was really interesting because I really had never heard about this case, and I thought that it was extremely fascinating to see what happened and also maybe be able to pull some similarities. It's very different. The overall topics and what the commentary is on are very different, but there's a few key things that are sadly not as different as we want them to be today, and it was really fascinating to watch, especially some of the stuff that happened at courtroom. I was appalled, honestly. And I know, of course, it's, you know, based on true events, so there's some liberties taken, etc. But it's apparently fairly accurate. I don't know. I didn't do too much research on its accuracy, I'm not gonna lie. But it was extremely well done, and there's some things that happened in it that truly made me go, what? But it was a really well done film, and it was engaging the entire time. Like, I was constantly wondering what was gonna happen next and how they were gonna deal with a certain situation. It's like a courtroom drama, kind of, I guess is the best way to describe it, but based on true events, so that makes it cooler. And so yeah, if you like that kind of thing, I definitely 100% recommend that movie. And then, of course, 1st place, y'all know what it's gonna be. Y'all know. It's Ala by Gunther Paramalu, of course. There's nothing else that could hold this title, by Trivikram and starring none other than Allu Arjun, the amazing actor. I think that this movie, it's so fun. The music's amazing. I've seen it 5 times, and I genuinely, the rewatchability of this movie is very impressive. Like, I could just rewatch this movie every day and be content. I won't, because there's so many other movies to watch. But, like, I could. Even just talking about it now, it makes me want to think like, I wonder if I have time to watch this later. I don't, but it makes me want to. It's just such an amazing film. I have a full review where I talk about it. But yeah, I think this movie's incredible. Y'all knew it's gonna be at the top of the list. So yeah, those are my top 10 favorite movies from 2020 that came out. So any movie that appeared on this list will not be appearing on the top international films that I watched this year. So like Ala Vaikuntha Paramalu, despite it being one of my favorites, will not be on this list because it was already on this other list. So I guess that it's kind of top international films that didn't come out in 2020 that I watched for the first time. Let me know, what is your favorite movie that came out this year? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyone else have Ala Vaikuntha Paramalu on there? Such a good movie. Alright, so now we get into our top 20 international films that didn't come out in 2020 that I watched for the first time this year. Is that a long enough title? I think that's good. So really fast, I have 5 honorable mentions that I'm just gonna tick off really quickly, just say the name of it, director, maybe a quick line if I have one to say. We're gonna do these 5 real quick. So we got Maryada Ramana from 2010, directed by Rajamouli, starring Sunil, who I really like. I think he's hilarious and he did a great job in this film. Mathu Vadalara from 2019, directed by Ritish Rana. Great film. Then we have Varsham from 2004, directed by Sobhan, starring Prabhas. Great film, super fun, really beautiful romance, really well done. Next we have Evaru, which was a smaller film directed by Venkat Ramji. It's really cool. It's very different than a lot of international films I've seen, and I really appreciate, especially Indian ones, and I really think it was well done. It had some issues in it. That is the reason why it's only in honorable mentions, but it was an extremely well-made film, and I had to at least mention it, because gotta promote smaller films that are trying new things. And then finally we have The Mari, which is a Tamil film directed by Balaji Mohan. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love the birds. That was my biggest issue with the sequel. There's no birds, but great movie, really a lot of fun. So now let's get into the actual list. So we have our top 20 films. I'm not gonna say the whole title again. Link all the reviews I have to any of these in the description below, as you can take a look at those if you have any interest in hearing more thoughts on any of these movies. But yeah, let's jump on in. 20th place, we have a Bollywood film. See, we're already more diverse. So Dil Dhadakne Do, directed by Zoya Akhtar. I think this was really fun, just like family drama film. I think it was well done. The emotions of it and the acting and the chemistry between the actors is really what puts this on that top 20 list. And the film's from 2015, so it's still pretty recent. I don't know, it's like almost 2021. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, on to 19. So in 19th place, we have the film Happy from 2006, directed by A. Karunakaran, starring Allu Arjun. I've seen quite a few of Allu Arjun's earlier films. I watched a lot of them last year. I did see a couple new ones this year, but this is the only one of his early films really made the list besides one other. But I really enjoy them, and I think he's so talented, and his movies are so fun and rewatchable. It's just, they're really great. In 18th place, we have Shivaji the Boss, which came out in 2007, directed by S. Shankar and starring Rajinikanth. It's a really fun, just like mass film. Some great songs, some great scenes, really comedic, and just a good time. 17th place, we have Telugu film Raja the Great, directed by Anil Ravipudi, starring Ravi Teja. This was my very first Ravi Teja film that I watched, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I thought he did such a great job. I really enjoyed this film. 16th place, we have Agent Sai Srinivas Athreya from 2019, another Telugu movie directed by Swaroop RSJ. Very fun. I mean, it's a super fun film. 15th place, we have Om Shanti Om, directed by Farah Khan. This is a Bollywood film, and I did a full review on it. It's so much fun. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, on to 14, One Nano Kadeen from 2014, directed by Sukumar, starring, of course, Mahesh Babu. It's probably one of his best roles, I'd say. Like, with how he performs it, it's really engaging and just extremely well done. I mean, a lot of you guys have recommended this movie to me, but I have already seen it. I watched it early this year, and it was a really good movie. Maybe I'll rewatch it sometime and do a review, because it was really good. And whenever I watched it, I remember I wanted to do a review, but I felt like I had to rewatch it once before doing so, and then I just haven't gotten around to rewatching it yet. But very good film. So now we have 13, the 2018 Bollywood film Padmavat, directed by Sanjay Leela Bansali, and I thought this film, Ranveer Singh and everyone in Deepika and everyone involved did a really phenomenal job acting. Specifically, Ranveer Singh did an incredibly good job. And the visuals of it were beautiful. I mean, every film on this list is great, honestly. I'm probably gonna be a little bit repetitive with complimenting them all, but I mean, this was a really great film. It's such a hard list to make too. Like, I feel like I constantly was debating like, oh, this one. Like, I was moving this around all the time until finally I just said, stop, this is the list. You're done, Alexa. So then I like didn't allow myself to rearrange it again. Because honestly, if I just like, I could rearrange it all day and just keep going. All right, so now in 12th place, we have Super Deluxe, directed by Thiagarajan Kumararaja. Hope I said that right. I have a full review on that again. Really great film, extremely great visuals, and I like it more and more the more I think about it. My problem I have with it, which you can watch my review if you want to know that, no spoilers here. But the problem I have with it, I have a lesser of a problem with it the more I think about it. I'm still not a huge fan for the reasons that I stated, but I understand better why they chose to put it in. I think the more that I think and like, you know, just think it over and think about the choices made and stuff. So I do like it more, but I still wish that it was different. 11th place, we have the 2019 Malayalam film Virus, directed by Ashik Abu. Really great film, so dramatic. Full review to that, link in the description. 10th, we have Ratsasan, of course, the 2018 Tamil film by Ram Kumar. Great film, 100% recommend. It's really good. In 9th place, we have Vikram Veda from 2017. This is a Tamil film directed by Gayatri and Pushkar. A phenomenal film. The message of it was so well done, so well executed. I love it. Link to that full review in the description. And then 8th, Iga from 2012, directed by none other than S.S. Rajamouli. Such a fun, oh my god. The concept of this film is one that could be absolutely terrible and cheesy, but Rajamouli does such a great job of playing the characters that they make you care about a fly. I hate bugs, I hate flies, and they make you care about a fly. That's an impressive enough feat to definitely make the top 10 list, I think. In 7th place, we have our first non-Indian film. This is a South Korean film. I saw The Devil, which is actually featured briefly in the movie V starring Nani that just came out, which was not as good as I want it to be, but whenever they're in a train ride, there's a guy watching a movie, and Nani's character like makes some comments at him. That movie he's watching is I Saw the Devil, a 2010 South Korean film directed by Kim Ji-woon. It is really intense, a bit disturbing at times, but the commentary that it has and like the characters, it's so good. The way, there's a big, if you want commentary on like good versus bad, kind of like almost Vikram Vedha, but like much more intense and maybe a little bit more gory. Definitely a little bit more gory. Definitely like a lot more gory. But not too bad gore. I don't like unnecessary excessive gore, and I think that this one does a fine job of dancing that line of making it like they have some moments where it's slightly excessive, but it's not too bad, I don't think. I did have to look away for one scene though, warning. But I'm a wimp, remember that. But it's an intense movie. The whole time you're like guessing and like wondering what's gonna happen next, and 1000% you gotta watch that movie if you haven't seen it. I Saw the Devil. It's wonderful. 6th place, we have a Telugu film again, which is Gamyam, directed by Krish from 2008. It's such a good emotional film. The characters are really what drives that one home. And I have another Krish movie that'll come up higher up on the list. You'll stick around for that. I think y'all probably guess which one it is. But I really love his directorial style, and the way that he conveys characters is really cool. And now onto our top 5. Woo, almost there. I'm doing these pretty fast. Go me. We have another South Korean film, Parasite, directed by Bong Joon-ho, which of course won Oscar Best Film last year, and I finally got around to watching it this year. And it's definitely worth the watch. The commentary that it has is extremely engaging and well thought out. There's so many little visual cues and so many little smart things all throughout that movie that are so much fun to watch. I've gotten requests to kind of do like an analysis of this movie, and I do want to, but it's so like complex and such, that is a confidence issue why I haven't, but hopefully I will. I really do like the movie, and I'd love to go through and like pick it apart like piece by piece and like analyze all the little bits and make a video about that, so maybe one day I'll do that. 4th place, we have another Malayalam film, which is Kumbalangi Nights from 2019, directed by Madhusi Narayanan. Amazing film, full review of that. I mean, there's so many emotions and it's so well done. 1000% recommend Kumbalangi Nights. If you want like a very real and well done movie, right there. In 3rd place, we're in the top 3. 3rd place, we have Diwali Dulhania Le Jayenge, or DDLJ, from 1995, the Bollywood film directed by Aditya Chopra. Really great film. I mean, it's so well done. I've talked about it before. It's just a great, like, it's a perfect example of romance, but then I saw one better. That I might be moving DDLJ to Great White so that I can put this film that's in 2nd into Megalodon. I think that it's slightly better, so this film in 2nd place is Nuvastanante Neno Dantana. I'm never gonna memorize how to say that. It's such a long name. I will eventually. It's from 2005, and it's actually directed by Prabhu Deva, the extremely talented actor and dancer. Amazing film. I loved it so much. If you haven't seen this movie, it's like a perfect romance. Definitely watch it. So now we have the long-awaited 1st place. Oh, we were wondering where that 2nd Krish film was coming in. Here we are. I don't know when that move was, but it is the Telugu film starring Alu Arjun as well as many other extremely talented individuals. This movie shook me. I was like emotionally not okay for a while after watching this movie, which I loved. I watched it before bed, which is a big mistake because then I was up for like hours thinking about the movie, but in the best possible way. I know that's like not a great way to sell a movie, I guess. Like, I was emotionally scarred. No, but it's not that much, but it is so emotional, and it surprised me multiple times. It did things I did not expect at all, and the stories that it told were so beautiful and so well done, and the acting and just everything about it. It's a phenomenal film, and if you have not seen it, you need to stop watching this video right now, and go watch that movie. Find it somewhere. It's so good. Alrighty, so that wasn't too long. I think I did a good job keeping that brief. If there's any movies that I talked about here that I don't have a full review for and you'd like to see one, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll put it on my list as one that I can rewatch and maybe do a review for in the future. Alrighty though, that is my top 20 international films that I watched in 2020 that did not come out in 2020. I'm gonna say the title differently every time, I think. Just give me a hard time when I go to title the video. Alright, let's go on to the next section. So now on to the Q&A. So first question comes from our Patreon member Tarun, where he asked who my favorite Telugu comedians are. So I have a pretty quick answer for this. I probably have two favorites, Sunil and Rajendra Prasad. I really love the both of them. Sunil is just hilarious every film I've ever seen him in. I mean, he has such a great job, even whenever he's playing the lead. I mean, he's always just so funny, and it's so enjoyable to watch. And also, of course, we have Rajendra Prasad, who I first saw in the Oh Baby film. I watched that last year, and it was such a fun, sweet film, and his character was amazing. And then every single time I've seen him since, he always does such a great job, and I just really enjoy both of them and think they're really talented. Then we also have two other questions that I'll be answering from you guys here on YouTube. The first one is asking me about the support of my best friend for the channel, which is of course Sri Kandula, our wonderful channel co-founder. He's absolutely incredible. Honestly, the amount of stuff that we do for GW & Co, he does so much in the background, like especially with the website, his own channel, and all. There's so much going on that he is just absolutely incredible. I really couldn't do this without him. I mean, constantly, he does even more work than I do overall, and I don't understand how, because he also has a lot more other things going on in his life, and he's just absolutely incredible, so focused, dedicated, and such a great support as well for me as we continue to grow, make videos, make articles, all of that. I mean, I really couldn't do it without him. He's absolutely amazing. We met during college, as I've said before, and the first time we worked together is actually my freshman year of college and his sophomore year, because he's a year older. And we were in a class together though, and we worked on a short film together, and we realized that we work really well together, and so since then we've made a lot more short films together, and then eventually we had decided to make this little kind of company together, GW & Co, and we're having so much fun with it. We just work really well together, especially creatively, which has been really nice, also going into the story writing that we've started doing, and it's so awesome. I love working with him. He's truly my best friend, and the way that we're able to bounce ideas off each other and work together to continue to create content is just amazing, and I couldn't ask for a better partner to be making this channel and all of our other content with. So go subscribe to his YouTube channel, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter. He makes a whole bunch of tweets. They're pretty funny, a lot of them, so go check those out. He's incredible, and definitely go follow and support all of his parts of the channel as well, and go read some of his articles on the website. He's a great writer and has written some really awesome articles over there, so make sure to go on over and check it out. Alright, final question also from YouTube. Someone asked, where did I pick up my accent? So I grew up like the first 10, 12-ish years of my life in the northeastern parts of the United States, and so that's kind of where most of my accent comes from. I did then live in a more southern state for a while, so I have like kind of a weird accent that's like a mixture. I feel like I have a very like base American accent. Like I'm not really a northern accent, but I don't have a southern accent. Just kind of in the middle, but definitely like I have a bit of a northeastern accent. I wouldn't say I have like a Boston or New York or New Jersey accent at all though. Only occasionally with some words. I do say a few words wrong. Like I say like room instead of room for like the room that you're in. I do that with all double O's pretty much. Or I just say it slightly wrong. Wrong. It's right to me. So yeah, I have a little hodgepodge of an accent, I guess. That is all for Q&A. Make sure to leave any questions you have for me next time in the comments down below. So now we're on to December updates. So I don't really have too much super interesting for our December updates. I'm going to be trying out this new chair. I have this chair. It's really, really comfy, but I don't know if I'm gonna like the way that it looks on camera. I think I like the look of the other one better, like in the open background. So I thought I'd give it a try. So we'll see it a few times. See what I think. Let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think it looks good? Look bad? I don't know, tell me. And then also, of course, it is Christmas, as I said with my Christmas sweater. I know not everyone in the world celebrates Christmas, so happy holidays to everyone, no matter what you celebrate. I personally do celebrate Christmas, and I love Christmas. It's super fun. It's all about family and just coming together, and I also really love giving people presents, and it's like an excuse to give the people I love lots of presents. And so I really enjoy doing that part of it. It's so like fun to try and search the internet and search the normally stores, but not now just internet because quarantine. I wasn't wandering around stores, not this year. This prowling the internet to find the best presents for people is like a lot of fun in my opinion. And do the same for like birthdays and all that other stuff. So yeah, I was really had a lot of fun with that, and I'm really excited for Christmas this year. Even though it will again be a small holiday because no travel, because safety. Just be me and my parents. I'm still really excited about it, and I sent some gifts to some other people and stuff, and I'm gonna hopefully be doing like some Zoom calls with some friends and such to celebrate Christmas together. So it's all about finding ways to connect, even though we can't always be together in person, you know. And Zoom calls and like technology is so good about that. Like the fact you can text all day, call people, and then do video chats too. Awesome. I don't have any December updates. There's nothing really going on. It's just like a month. My goal, I want to try and make a whole bunch of videos. Also make sure to live stream a lot more on our Twitch, write more articles on the website, as well as working on our novella. So I'm still, you know, I'm staying busy, but I don't have anything particularly new or exciting to mention coming up in December, so. Yeah, so that is all that I have to talk about this month. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to check out our Patreon to get early access to this video a full 1 week before it gets made public, as well as have priority in asking questions for the future Q&A sections. All right, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hope you all are staying safe out there and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!